Hey everyone, welcome back to the Real Estate Rundown here with Marcy, where we meet with top professionals in our real estate industry, and we got a show prepared for you today. Stay tuned. Welcome back everyone to the Real Estate Rundown here with Marcy, where we meet with top professionals in our industry, and I'm so excited to introduce you to Michael. Hi Michael.
Hey Marcy, good to see you.
Good to see you. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me. Love it.
I am so happy that we met. We built a wonderful relationship. I can't wait to tell my audience all about you. You are so important in what you do, especially to all of my audience and what I do in the real estate field. So please share about who you are and what you do.
Yeah, so Michael Goldberg, I'm a Senior Vice President. I head up the private client group for First Horizon Bank in Miami Beach, my hometown, with 35 years. I've been blessed to work in my hometown as a banker for the last 35 years. Living the dream.
Living the dream. And you live and you've been there 35 years. Tell us a little bit about what you do.
You know, First Horizon's pretty decent sized bank, 82 billion in assets. We have a retail team and branches, but private client is, think of concierge service.
Right.
We really cater to high net worth individuals, business professionals, attorneys, doctors, lawyers, help them in the financial planning, help them acquire that dream home, a line of credit to their business to grow, and basically, give the concierge service is really a differentiating factor, kind of dealing with quality of clients versus quality of clients. I always say we're accessible 24/7. Aren't many bankers are literally accessible 24/7.
This is so important, and I tell you, especially with busy people that I work with, CEOs and companies and stuff, they don't have time for the small little things that they have to deal with the bank, And so having someone that they could just call, text, and just handle it for them, or they need a line of credit, or they're expanding, or they're purchasing a home, and having someone like you that can handle it without, putting everything together, because they're your clients, you know who they are.
Well, it's funny. I always say I do more business after business hours than during business hours. Try to get hold of a doctor that that you're doing a mortgage for during the day. It's impossible. So I literally have been on the call, with my mortgage loan officer and the doctor, his wife, at Sunday at 9 o'clock in the morning, Saturday at 6. That's really the differentiating factor. But I do want to give kudos to my team, because I can't do what I do without surrounding myself with great people. As you know, Marcy, I'm out a lot. In the community, very involved in Miami Beach, and why I'm out doing that. If you don't have a good team, as you know, that's how you've been successfully built your great business here. Always got to give our team kudos for what they do.
And everything. I don't know where anyone could. For me, I'm all about team collaboration, partnering up. This is how you really make it happen, because we know what we do well and what we don't do well, and we let the other ones handle that, and we kind of lead by the relationship building.
You just said a good point. We do what we do well. So I have 3 private bankers on my team and 2 assistants, and they're like the quarterback of the relationship. So when someone needs a residential mortgage, we've got 3 or 4 mortgage loan officers that work for us. We're not brokers. We keep the mortgages, and we're bringing that expert to go ahead and take the application, and still the private banker's the quarterback. If a business owner needs a commercial line of credit, or is buying a warehouse, or buying an owner-occupied, they're bringing their business banking partner. And then a big thing in what we do as private client is wealth management. So, I always say I know enough to be dangerous about wealth management, but I bring in one of our 3 private client wealth advisors to meet with the client, and I tee him up, and then you won't hear me speak during the meeting, because every time I sit in one of these meetings, I learn more. But never be afraid to say you're not the expert. I'm in banking 35 years. The industry changes every day. As you know, your industry too. So a lot of people are afraid to say, I don't know. I say it almost every other day. I'm not sure, but let me find out. Let me call one of my experts.
Figure it out, right? So, believe it or not, a lot of people don't know what private banking is. They don't know if they need it. They don't know if they're at that level. They don't know how, until they meet someone like you. It's like, I didn't know you existed. So a lot of times people go into the branch, they're holding, $250,000, $500,000 in the bank, in the branch, and they can't wire more than $20,000. They have to be in the country to do certain things, and having someone like you, a relationship-based person, can help them with all this stuff.
You hit on it exactly right, and that actually happens. So, what advantages do you get being in a private client group? You're absolutely right.
Mm-hmm.
You have higher limits.
Yeah.
Your remote deposit. we all download the bank's app. If you're a retail client, I think it's 5 or 10,000 you can deposit. If you're a private client, you can do 100,000. So you have higher limits. And you're right. And again, I always say, people that are our clients are people that want to have a relationship with their banker. It's all about, and I'm not discounting our retail teams. We have great banking centers at First Horizon, but it's 9 to 5. And again, private client is a 24/7, access I joke with a doctor who's a client that has a concierge practice, and I won't tell you how much people write a check just to get his cell phone number. I don't have to give him a check because he's a client, but I say, I should start charging for our concierge service. I'm joking. We never would, because, listen, you can get a loan from anyone, you can have an account, but at the end of the day, and you said it is, do you know your banker? So if you ask anyone who banks with a bank, what's the name of your banker or private banker? 9 times out of 10, I don't know. And some people don't care, but it's the ones that really want to have that relationship. That's our client base.
Some people don't care because they don't know, or they have that 800 number that they're on hold for an hour, and you're a busy person. You can't have that. And then when you do take the call, you have to be transferred different departments. And so we know we're in this business. You can't have that, especially when, under contract, or when you got to get funds out. You need to have access to your money. And you need to have a relationship base to make it happen.
It's so funny. One of the first things I say when I'm talking to prospective clients is, I'm sorry to disappoint you, but we don't have an 800 number for you to call a private client.
Yeah.
You're actually going to call us. We're going to answer the phone.
Yeah.
We have an email address that I set up, Miami Beach Private Client at firsthorizon.com. And that's where our clients email, and it goes to our entire team. And I have a very strict service expectation of a 10-minute response during banking hours, and after hours of private bankers have to respond to clients. And people really appreciate that, really appreciate it.
100%. I know, because I'm in this business, and so I deal with a lot of, real estate agents, investors, CEO people, so they need money, they need access to their money, and there's always hiccups, whether it's the day of closing or just initialing, sending out the first wire. They didn't even know they were capable of it. So it's a big deal. So having you on here and showing our platform that, hey, you exist, how can people reach you?
My cell phone number is out there. It's on my card. My cell phone number is 305-213-3763. You can email me, Michael, Michael, Goldberg, Goldberg, at firsthorizon.com. It could be on the weekends. I will respond, and I will take your call on the weekends, 24/7. We're accessible.
Thank you, Michael, for
Thank you for
being
having
here.
me. Appreciate it.
And thank you, everyone, and see you on the next one. Bye-bye.